Sen. Mike Lee pulls Roy Moore endorsement over sex allegations. One of Alabama GOP Senate candidate Roy Moore's most prominent backers pulled his support Friday evening in the wake of sexual assault allegations against the former state Supreme Court Chief Justice. Sen. Mike Lee, Utah, posted on Twitter that having read the detailed description of the incidents, as well as the response from Judge Moore and his campaign, I can no longer endorse his candidacy for the U.S. Senate. The Washington Post reported Thursday that 4 women accused Moore of initiating sexual contact with them in the late 1970s and early 1980s, when he was an assistant district attorney in his early 30s. One of the women, Lee Korfman, told the Post that Moore had sexual contact with her when she was just 14. The age of consent in Alabama is 16. Lee, who endorsed Moore after his primary runoff win over incumbent Sen. Luther Strange, had requested that Moore's campaign no longer use Lee's image after the Post report was published. National Republican leaders, including President Donald Trump, have called for Moore to drop out of the Senate race if the allegations are shown to be true. Earlier Friday, the Senate GOP's campaign arm formally ended its fundraising agreement with Moore. Moore has denied the allegations, saying in a statement obtained by Fox News on Friday that the article was based on a lie supported by innuendo. It seems that in the political arena, to say that something is not true is simply not good enough. So let me be clear. I have never provided alcohol to minors, and I have never engaged in sexual misconduct, he said. As a father of a daughter and a grandfather of 5 granddaughters, I condemn the actions of any man who engages in sexual misconduct not just against minors but against any woman, he added. Moore, who urged the Washington Post, and everyone involved, to tell the truth, also said that he trusts that the people of Alabama, who know my record after 40 years of public service, will vouch for my character and commitment to the rule of law. Still, multiple Republicans have called on Moore to step aside from the special election in December, and the National Republican Senatorial Committee reportedly severed its fundraising ties with Moore. The White House speaking to reporters on Thursday, White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders said if the allegations are true, President Trump believes that Moore will do the right thing and step aside. Like most Americans, the president believes we cannot allow a mere allegation, in this case one from many years ago, to destroy a person's life, Sanders said. However, the president also believes that if these allegations are true, Judge Moore will do the right thing and step aside. Vice President Mike Pence found the allegations in the story disturbing and believes, if true, this would disqualify anyone from serving in office. His press secretary, Alyssa Farah, told reporters. Sen. Mitch McConnell, if these allegations are true, he must step aside, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, RK, said in a statement. Sen. Cory Gardner, the allegations against Alabama Senate candidate Roy Moore are deeply troubling. If these allegations are found to be true, Roy Moore must drop out of the Alabama special Senate election, Sen. Cory Gardner, RK, the National Republican Senatorial Committee chairman, said in a statement. I'm horrified, and if it's true, he should step down immediately, Murkowski told reporters. She reportedly also urged Sen. Luther Strange, who was appointed to fill Jeff Sessions' seat when he was tapped to become Attorney General, to launch a write-in campaign. The deadline to take Moore off the ballot has passed. Sen. Mike Rounds, if they are true, then he should seriously think about stepping aside, Sen. Mike Rounds, RSD, said. Sen. John Cornyn, I find it deeply distrusting and troubling. It's up to the governor and the folks of Alabama to make that decision as far as what the next steps are, Majority Whip John Cornyn, R. Texas, said. Sen. Tim Scott, if they are accurate, he absolutely should step aside, Tim Scott, of South Carolina, said. Sen. Susan Collins, if there is any truth at all to these horrific allegations, Roy Moore should immediately step aside as Senate candidate, said Sen. Susan Collins, our Maine. Sen. Steve Daines, these are very serious allegations and if true he should step down, said Sen. Steve Daines, Armont. Sen. John McCain, the allegations against Roy Moore are deeply disturbing and disqualifying. He should immediately step aside and allow the people of Alabama to elect a candidate they can be proud of, Arizona. Sen. John McCain said. Sen. Richard Shelby, it's a devastating nasty story, Alabama. Sen. Richard Shelby told reporters. If it's true, I don't believe there'd be a place for him in the U.S. Senate. Sen. Jeff Flake. Like other Republicans, Flake called on Moore to step aside from the election if the allegations are true. He has also tweeted his call for Moore to step aside immediately and lambasted local Alabama GOP officials who defended Moore. Sen. Luther Strange. Alabama Sen. Luther Strange, who lost the special election primary to Roy Moore, called the allegations disturbing. He has not yet said if he'll re-enter the race, but told the Associated Press that he is doing research. It is too late to take Moore off the ballot, but Strange has been encouraged to launch a write-in campaign. Sen. Rob Portman. I think if what we read is true, and people are on the record, so I assume it is, then he should step aside. Ohio. Sen. Rob Portman said. Sen. Ben Sass. Sen. Ben Sass, Arneb, called the Washington Post story heartbreaking. The senator also agreed on Twitter with National Review editor Jonah Goldberg, who said, as the father of a 14-year-old girl, this had the big deal? Crap enrages me. Sen. Ted Cruz. These are serious and troubling allegations, Texas. Sen. Ted Cruz, who previously endorsed Moore, said in a statement, if they are true, Judge Moore should immediately withdraw. However, we need to know the truth, and Judge Moore has the right to respond to these accusations. Rep. Paul Ryan. House Speaker Paul Ryan, RWIS, said in a statement that if the allegations are true, they would disqualify Moore from the special election in December. These allegations are disqualifying if true. Anyone who would do this to a child has no place in public office, let alone the United States Senate, Ryan said in a statement. Rep. Peter King. I would say unless he can prove his innocence, the burden is now on him. Within the next day or so, I believe he has to step down. He owes it to himself, he owes it to the state, and he owes it to the U.S. Senate. New York. Rep. Peter King said on MSNBC GOV. John Kasich. Ohio Gov. John Kasich said on Twitter that he long opposed Moore and called on him to step aside from the race as well, i.e. long opposed Roy Moore and his divisive viewpoints. The actions described make him unfit for office. The GOP must not support him. He should step aside, Kasich said. Former Gov. Mitt Romney. Mitt Romney, the 2012 Republican presidential nominee, slammed Moore on Twitter. Innocent until proven guilty is for criminal convictions, not elections. I believe Lee Korfman, the former governor, said her account is too serious to ignore. Moore is unfit for office and should step aside.
Subscribe to the channel and watch other videos on this channel.